Amelia was beautiful. That wasn't up for debate. She had the kind of beauty that turned heads, that made whispers follow her like shadows. Yet she'd brush off compliments with a shy smile, murmuring about wanting a quiet life, away from the spotlight, a life of normalcy. But her eyes, those large, expressive eyes, always held a certain glimmer, a flicker of something deeper, something that yearned for more than normalcy, a hunger for attention, for admiration, for fame. Amelia craved the flash of cameras, the murmur of her name in crowded rooms. She wanted to be recognized, to be adored. It was a desire that consumed her, a secret she kept hidden beneath a carefully constructed facade of feigned indifference. She'd tell anyone who'd listen how she valued privacy above all else, how superficial fame seemed, how she wouldn't trade her quiet life for the world. But her heart, oh, her heart hummed a different tune. Her days were spent in a calculated dance. She'd meticulously craft an image, an online persona that screamed effortless chic and casual encounters with the glamorous. But behind the scenes, a different kind of choreography was taking place, one that involved carefully placed phone calls and strategically timed outings. It was a Tuesday afternoon when Amelia decided to visit her favorite bookstore. Or, at least that's what she told her roommate. Her voice light, airy, unconcerned. In reality, it was all meticulously planned. She'd chosen this bookstore this very afternoon because she knew somehow that he'd be there, the photographer, the one with a knack for capturing candid moments of rising stars. She was browsing the fiction aisle, her fingers trailing along the spines when it happened. A flash, a startled gasp, a flurry of activity. She feigned surprise, her hand flying to her chest, brows furrowed in a look of annoyance, but beneath it all, a thrill coursed through her, a sense of victory. "Oh dear," she said, her voice a perfect blend of annoyance and resignation. "Not again." The photographer, full of apologies, promised to erase the photo. Amelia, after a show of reluctance, agreed to let him keep it. After all, it was just a simple photo, a harmless encounter. Or was it? As he snapped away, capturing her unawareness, Amelia couldn't help but feel a sense of exhilaration. Every click of the camera was a validation, a step closer to the life she so desperately craved. Every night, as the city outside her window slumbered, Amelia would kneel beside her bed and pray. Not for world peace, not for the end of suffering. Amelia prayed for fame. Her prayers were filled with a fervent longing, a desperate plea to be seen, to be heard. "Please," she'd whisper into the darkness, her voice tight with unshed tears. "Let them see me, let them know my name, let me matter." She craved the validation of strangers, the envy in the eyes of her peers. It was a yearning so profound, so deeply rooted, that it had become an obsession. She dreamt of walking red carpets, of seeing her face on magazine covers, of hearing her name whispered in hushed tones. This wasn't vanity, she told herself. It was a desire for something more, something bigger than herself. Fame, however, is a fickle mistress. It demands a price, a sacrifice, and Amelia, blinded by her ambition, was ready to pay it. She started small, dropping hints about her struggles, fabricating stories of hardship to gain sympathy, to appear relatable. She carefully curated an online persona, one that was both aspirational and attainable, drawing people in with the illusion of intimacy, but it wasn't enough. The hunger for more, for bigger headlines, for brighter spotlights, gnawed at her. It wasn't long before the small white lies turned into larger, more damaging ones. Friendships were sacrificed at the altar of opportunity. Relationships were exploited for a moment in the limelight. Betrayals became commonplace, each one a stepping stone on her ascent to stardom.